there was a holy instant of knowing that I am not my body. That was God. That wasn't a 6-year-old egoic, right? But that was a moment that happened in my life that followed me forward to that holy instant. And there were these instances in my life. That was the first memorable one, right? That it was the whisper of God saying, psst, that's forgiveness right there. Don't you feel free? Mm-hmm. Ooh. And it wasn't excusing what he did, but Father, forgive them for it. They know not what they do. Okay. Let me move on with my life. Right. And so fast forward to Mad Miracles, mother and daughter miracles, which is what that was. It was my need of forgiveness from my own daughter. It's a breakdown of our relationship and the healing and the coming back together in that, right? Thus the madness, our miracles are born from our madness. And it goes back to the giving and receiving. Yeah, you have the ability to forgive, but can you receive forgiveness? And that's why I say,
can you receive forgiveness for something you did?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I'm just trying to process.
Yes.
Can you receive, can you allow?
Can you be forgiven?
Right.
Will you allow yourself to be forgiven?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That goes back to the thing of being the giver.
Well, that's why you said so much that I want to touch on, but with A Course in Miracles, there's another part that you said that I want to bring up, but this one part about can you receive forgiveness?
Yes.
That's one of the things that I love about A Course in Miracles, because for me, that's about if I can forgive myself, then I can forgive you.
Exactly. Because all forgiveness is self-forgiveness.
Right.
Yes.
So there's two things I want to mention. One was that I was listening to and watching Chris Cuomo and Deepak Chopra. I was watching it on YouTube. And Deepak brought up things that you just mentioned. And he was mentioning the last moments of Jesus. And he mentioned how it represents man or humanity.
Yes.
And he said the point where the person came and wanted to take the cross, and when he thought he was being forsaken or abandoned by God, and forgive them for they know not what they do.
Yes.
So in Deepak's words, Jesus said, no, I'll carry my own cross. And he said that is, man must bear his own cross. Mm-hmm. He must bear his own cross. And then he experiences a dark night of the soul.
That was Jesus taking 100% responsibility in that I manifested this moment. Mm-hmm, I'll carry my own cross.
And the dark night of the soul for man is when he thought he was being abandoned.
Yes.
And, it's just him, in
Father,
his...
Father, why hast thou forsaken
me?
me?
And when he was talking about forgive them for they know not what they do, he was talking about how forgiveness is peace.
Yes.
And you described that.
Yes.
You described that when you were describing your experience with the boyfriend, 66-year-old man, you're a child.
Yes.
So that was something. And
that's exactly what forgiveness is. It is peace for you. I look at the human experience as the bookends. There is love and forgiveness. Everything else is the story in the middle. I often pose the question, what is love for? And if you break it up, what is love for? Love is forgiving.
Yes.
So what are you giving? And so God, and this isn't from a religious
when
dynamic.
You said what, I hear you. And when you said, what is it for? I'm thinking extension. That's the extension, love extends. Mm-hmm. And then you said love is for giving. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
And so forgiveness creates the So earlier, when I was talking about capacity, right? What's our capacity? What forgiveness does is increases our capacity for love.
Yeah.
Because we are the container,
no
right?
question.
So the being comes in as this container. Forgiveness increases that capacity for the container. And
because if you ever see anybody who's really shut down and closed and tight because they are holding a lot of anger or resentment and, they can't let things go, And then when they're finally able to, it's just like, just, yeah, it is. It expands your capacity.
That's why we hear that, forgiveness is for the forgiver, not the forgiven. Because if you're forgiving someone out there, they're going along doing their thing and, because they're on their own journey.
Right.
Right. And it is for your own personal freedom, your own personal peace. And if you look at the bookends, right, what did God do? He gave. God so loved the world that what did he do? He gave. He gave his best.
Right.
When we look at
that's beautiful what you just said. Yeah.
But that's the bookend, right? Yeah. Here's our example. He gave his best. And then what was his son's last words? Forgive them, for they know not what they do.
And you know why I love that? And I'm so mindful that everyone doesn't believe in Jesus, and this is such an open platform for people to believe whatever they believe.
And that's why this isn't about religion. But this is the story. This is the principle of the story.
Right. But I want to bring up Jesus.
Yes.
Because for me, he represented taking on whatever you think you did. I'll take it. So if you think you're bad or evil or, you just can't get something right, whatever it is, just put it on me. Right. I'll take it.
Right.
And so, that's you're fine, you're fine. And so that is give my very best. God gave his very best for somebody to take that off of you.
Right.
It's off of you now.
Right. Exactly.